Over the years on The Fan, we've chatted to legends of the game. And one career moment that often comes up is playing in the UK, representing Australia on the legendary Kangaroo Tours. So let's look back and hear from some rugby league greats on those fond memories.
Kangaroo Tour. One of the most famous moments, the Old Trafford moment, the Mal Meninga try, coming back from the dead. You play a big part in that because it's almost a sliding doors moment. When Ricky Stewart throws the dummy and goes through, who was he throwing the dummy to?
Me.
To you. There you go.
Yeah.
It could have been you making the break, possibly.
Yeah, I'm glad he gave it to Mal, but...
Right, okay.
They won the first game and then they grew in this self-belief. The second game was at Old Trafford. And that's where it was. But the third game for me was the scariest moment. We played at Ellen Road, which was Leeds' home ground. Yeah, yep. And the sideline was like a metre away from the fence. And we stood there for the national anthems. But England have another song after the national anthem called The Land of Hope and Glory. And they sing that with their fists on their hearts and they sing like anything. And it was bone-chilling. You know, I was just literally metres away from these English people and, you know, talk about the Viking clap. This was more chilling than that.
For Australia, wearing the green and gold, modern-day player can't understand how good Kangaroo Tours were. Every former international you speak to speaks in glowing terms about how good it was to go away as a group of players for a couple of months, England and France. For you, career highlight? Oh,
easily, mate. I was lucky enough going too, Andrew. I think as a kid, you know, watching the Wembley final, or getting up at 3 in the morning and watching, you know, or getting up and watching a test match, or always dreaming to want to go over there and play in England. The guys today don't know what they're missing out on. You know, we'd go and play. We get off the plane on a Thursday. Wigan were the best team in England. Yep. So we'd get off the plane on Thursday, turn up to their ground. Yeah. Mate, there'd be 40,000 there.
Which was Central Park. It was like the unofficial fourth test, wasn't it?
Mate, it was
you'd play at Central Park.
Andrew, it was unbelievable, mate. Just the crowds. Yeah. The best thing, and the crowd singing and carrying on. Mal Meninga had played for St Helens, and they used to take the bus into the old grounds, and we'd get off the bus and then go straight into the dressing rooms. Yeah. We played St Helens in a club game. That's what I was going to say about, you know, all the club games was unreal. Playing in the club games, St Helens, you know, Wigan, Leeds, all that sort of stuff. Bradford. Anyway, Mal's he's Australian captain, is about to get off the Australian bus. I swear there was 5,000 people around the bus singing "There's Only One Mal Meninga" as he got off the bus. To me, I mean, you know, they just love the Aussies, right. and you know, just the opportunity to play against all those club sides, because they try to bash us in that. Because they'd bash us for so to play in the test matches the next week. But we were lucky enough we had 28 on the tour, and they called them the Emus. Would play midweek, and then you know, if you're lucky enough to play in the test, you'd play on the weekend.
Now in the green and gold, this is, you know, I feel so fortunate to be able to talk to you about a great time in rugby league. You're part of the first Kangaroo Tour, the Invincibles 1982. Not just a part of it, you are captain of the first touring squad to go through Great Britain and France unbeaten. That's an extraordinary achievement.
The great thing about that side, it was the ruthlessness of the players as well, because we had blokes like Steve Rogers again, he was just a great player, Sludge. But the ferocity of some of the guys, Les Boyd particularly, and some of the Craig Young and the fearless Rod Reddy. Yep. I got to tell you, and then we had Brett Kenny, Peter Sterling, and all these, Mal Meninga, all these young,
they were young men at
20-year-olds. No one knew how good Eric Roach was going to be, or Brett Kenny. No one knew how good they were going to be, and all these young superstars appeared. And luckily, I was the captain.
Yeah, you got the captain. You got to flip the coin. And
it was really hard work. One thing we did have, I got to say, Frank Stanton and I spoke a lot about making sure there was no like heroes in there. We're all together as a pact. There was no kangaroos and we're all together as a whole team. So we all supported each other. If you went for a drink, you all drank. Even if you didn't drink, drank like Ray Price didn't drink or Wayne Pearce didn't drink. They'd have lemonades or whatever. We're all together all the time. So there was no divisions. There's no Queenslanders and there was no New South Wales. There's no St George, no Parramatta, no Manly guys, because it was so it was really. We hung in together as a team, which was really good stuff.
Kangaroo Tours in the green and gold.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's a lot of stories that I can't tell, like Kangaroo Tours, but yeah, look, they were great times. And I always remember 1982. Obviously, I was 21 years of age, never been away before, went away to England and France on a Kangaroo Tour, expecting to play against the local clubs and be sitting in the grandstands watching the test matches, and suddenly find myself running out in the number 6 jersey in my very first test as a 21-year-old. And yeah, you know, everything happened really quickly. But again, as I mentioned before, I guess I was very fortunate with the people I had around me, those players and coaches, sort of kept you level-headed. And that 82 tour, when I remember coming back and started training in the new year with Parramatta, and I said to a lot of guys then, you know, I don't know what your plans are, what your goals might be, but they should be to get on a Kangaroo Tour, because it was the best time I ever had, and made great mates. And Gene Miles become a great mate, Wally Lewis as well, but Gino was roomed with Steve Ellis, so we sort of got to know him really well, and at one stage he wanted to come down and play at Parramatta. But it was just, yeah, you know, it was just good times, and you often think back, you know, you would love to be able to go through it all again.
You mentioned that you thought a real key was going to be Stewart and Lyons.
Yeah, I thought so, and Krilich made the difference today. He runs the ball sideways and just gives plenty of guys plenty of options to which way to run. So he was a success today, and Ricky certainly had that last little burst from him to clinch the match for us.
Champagne corks are waiting.
They're certainly about time.
All right, well done.
Thank you.